Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of DOS-cider. I hope that I'm live. Trying to check the chat in my phone because I'm having some weird connection problems. I am. Awesome. That's good to know. You're having some strange internet problems, but that's alright. I'll just look at chat on my phone and do it from there. As long as this is all updating fine, and it looks like it is. Good to see you all. This is our show about ranking DOS games. We've been doing a lot of episodes. We're on episode 80 today. If you're a sub or a patron, by the way, you can, of course, do one request a month and put it into our sub club channel in Discord. The Discord is free for everybody, but sub club is obviously limited just to subs and patrons. If you put something in there for me to play, I'll do it. So we've been slowly going through them. We have another sub request today. We have a lot that have been longer because they're in-depth RPGs, adventure games, things like that. So we've been doing, single episodes, special ones. This one's no different. But before we get too much into that, let's go over our list, which you can find at DOS-cider.neocities.org. And you can, of course, always look at the whole list, the whole list of videos up on the YouTube. If you just type !DOS, you'll have links to all that there. So our top 10, as it stands today, is, maybe it won't let me log in. Actually, my bot is not working. I'm having real weird connection issues. Twitch does not seem to want to let me connect right now. And I could probably restart everything and rejoin, but that's alright. We'll just go through this for now. Alright, we have Day of the Tentacle, Doom, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, XCOM, UFO Defense, NetHack, MechWarrior True Mercenaries, Maniac Mansion, System Shock, our most recent addition to the top. Oh no, it isn't. Sorry, Sid Meier's Civilization, even more. And then Wing Commander at number 10. We've had a few bangers in the last, 10 or so episodes. And then, of course, the bottom 10, which I don't think we're cracking into today, but you never know. We have Scunny, Lost in Space, The Castle of Dr. Malvado, Terror in Christmastown, Industrial Killers, Snapperazzi, The Fortress of Dr. Gradiaki, The Flintstones, The Jetsons, First Person Pinball, and of course, All Dogs Go to Heaven. So for today, we had a request from, I believe it was Ghidorah, if I double check. It sure was. It's a game that I've never played, but will probably be recognized by everybody instantly as a classic. And that is... Oh yeah, none of the chat's showing up on there too. Huh. We're having some weird connection problems. Eye of the Beholder! Not enough to, reset everything. Because I ain't gonna have to just restart my computer. DOS-cider on a Tuesday. Oh, I do spoil you. Yeah, it's definitely not that I accidentally took a really long nap yesterday and because of a bad headache and missed streaming. No. Not at all. So let's hop on in. To a little Eye of the Beholder. It's interesting you can play this with Scum VM. I think I'm just gonna do regular old DOSBox. Mouse has been detected. Would you like to use your mouse? I would. Thanks, game. Westwood Studios and SSI. You've never heard of Eye of the Beholder? Like, you know the concept from D&D, but you've never heard of the PC one? Oh, this one was really big. I mean, Westwood had a pretty... I don't know if this is, like, one of the things that gave them their reputation, but Westwood's obviously a real big studio from back in the day. I think they have found a solution. This is from 1991. And honestly, that pixel art's pretty fucking fire. We commission you to find the nature of this evil and destroy it. Oh, that's great. That's real good art. Holy shit. Hey, Kinetic and Not a Fish. Yeah, that animation is fantastic. Wow. For 91 especially? I mean, it looks great now. That's really good. How's my finger doing all these weeks later? I'm in a splint. Kind of getting a little better. We have them. Their fate is sealed. I'm able to grab a pop can, which is good. So, the way that this works is you can actually... I mean, another thing is, it does actually have mouse support, again, in 1991, which is not super standard. Yeah, this would be some pretty high-tier indie art, even nowadays. Seriously. It's really good looking. But, the way that this works is you actually have a party of 4, but you can add 2 NPCs as the story progresses to have a party of 6. So we're gonna build a party here real quick. Let's go dwarf. Need a frontliner, right? Ooh, dual class? I had to read a fair bit of manual just to make sure that I had this one down, but it's not, like, stupid in depth like some of them. No kobolds, unfortunately. Not really the time for that kind of thing. That felt like it was a later thing that you can do in D&D games. I mean, you couldn't do that in, like, Baldur's Gate, even. In Baldur's Gate 2 and stuff. You couldn't even do that in Neverwinter Nights, I don't think. When were you able to do, like, a kobold? Could you do it in Neverwinter Nights 2? Maybe. I have that game. I probably should have finished it at some point. I loved Neverwinter Nights, but... Let's do a fighter thief. Oh, okay. I didn't notice that there was an alignment thing, and I don't know that that'll make a difference? Let's go true neutral, sure. There you go. Oh, and the rerolls. Our 9 strength fighter. Let's go. Oh boy, our 9 dex thief. Game. Okay, I guess you can actually modify too. Right. Wait, can you just... Wait. Wait. Oh, I can't hold it. I'm just kind of... Okay, I'm curious if this will actually let me do this. Should probably check before I click all the way through. Apparently. I didn't realize they'd let you do whatever number you wanted. That's ultimate power. That's kind of fucked up. That's cool that they do a good... that's a good idea to do it, that you could just, like, import your tabletop character. I think that's a fun way to do it. Like, yeah, I mean, if you just want to make the game easy, why not? Just let them have it. Just let people do it. This seems fair. This seems fair. Nope, 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 nope. Hello. There we go. Alright. We have a Jeef. For the other frontliner, let's do a human. We could definitely do like a paladin. The only people that can use their melee weapons are the two people in the front, of course, by the way. I could do like... I wonder if it's possible. Maybe we can just try it. I wonder if they have the, like, frontline ranger possibilities, like dual wielding. Probably. Fucking 2.0 paladins. Hey, Carmine. Is this Legend of Grimrock rules on formation? I've never played Legend of Grimrock, so I don't know. Oh yeah, there we go. That's a Jeef. Those aren't bad stats either. Let's go like 14 or something. Do that. Very across the board for this ranger. Highly recommend both Grimrocks. Oh, I know, yeah, Here's the thing. There's a lot of games that are really cool, and I'd love to do them, but, there's a lot of games. Let's get another mage going. Nah, we don't need to make a cop. Lawful neutral. These character portraits are very mid, in my opinion. They don't look amazing for how good that animation was. Like, it's not bad or anything, but for how good that animation was, a little sad. I don't remember second D&D rules for anything. Sure? I'm like, I don't even remember what's good. Sorry, gotta have a Zoltan, always. last, we should probably get like a cleric of some kind. Some kind of healer. God, that nose. That nose is real good. Hey, Grimmith, good to see you. Also requires semi-precise timed mouse movements, so not an option for Legend of Grimrock. That sucks. Unfortunate. Cheating! I can put in whatever numbers we want. Those are our numbers. Those are pretty good numbers, to be fair. Oh, I know that. Yeah, wisdom affects bonus spells for clerics. Yeah. Wisdom, charisma. I think that isn't wisdom like most of their casting too? They don't really need int, do they? Don't really need charisma either. Well, whatever. Oh, you can also... Right. Of course. This is back when you're rolling for your HP. God. Wonder how everybody's HP is. Really, look at that. Oh, well. Already did. Our fighter thief has the least HP. That's fine. I just remember back in the day, my local game store, like the owner talking about playing 1.0 D&D, and that like if you started a mage, you would have 1 die to roll, and getting like 1 HP mages, and just being like, well, alright, guess we're doing this. Yeah, 1 HP was real common. Super funny. Your party is complete. Anyway, I had been talking about who Westwood was, since a couple of people were like, hey, I hadn't heard of Eye of the Beholder. Westwood Studios is the group that eventually got bought by EA, but also made games like, the BattleTech games, the early ones, and eventually they did like BattleTech 2, which was kind of close to something else, and then they did Dune 2, and then finally Command and Conquer. So they kind of are, in many ways, the creators of a lot of the like RTS genre, as it were. And they also did some classic D&D games back in the day. Bigby and Melf, two of the big names of spellmaking in D&D, were respectively the 15th Igby and Melf, as you didn't really name characters in development until one of them lived. Yeah. So you can use keyboard controls or mouse, which is nice. I have my numpad, so I'm probably gonna do a little bit of each. Lockpicks taken. Oh, God. Okay, hold up. Whoa. Whoa. Right. Nope. I thought that you clicked on it to attack. Oh my goodness. Am I wrong? There we go. It's right click. That's why. Yes, this is actually real time, as it were. I'm probably two-handing this, actually. This rune is unrecognized. See that there's some buttons there, but I don't know that I want to open more doors, and we already opened that first one. I love that we first, like, panic grabbed the bones and then just threw it at our enemy. Yeah, okay, this is Grimrock as hell. I mean, I would say that it's probably just as likely that Grimrock is this is hell, but I getcha. Grimrock, is my understanding, actually did... doesn't it takes a layout from one of the original, like, D&D games. Like, it actually has the exact same dungeon layout. Interesting. Okay, that is where we opened. So yeah, let's just... Okay, I do have a question. I have a whole list of fast actions and things like that, so I'm just kind of referencing it again. Okay, bring up spells to cast is a right mouse button. I'm just kind of curious. Okay. Yeah. A priest hasn't learned any spells. Dang. Nobody has. Do we need to camp first, maybe? We do! Okay, we actually need to camp before we get any... Doesn't give you starting spells? That's kind of bullshit. Numpad lets you do movements. You can do this entirely without the mouse. It just seemed nice to use the mouse here. Melf's Acid Arrow. Okay. That seems good. Oh, right. Yeah. Clerics don't do that. They pray for spell. Of course. Sorry. What? How foolish of me. Do some heals. God, what did aid do again? Hold person. I have played Baldur's Gate. I remember hold person being pretty fucked up. Again, I have the whole list here, and it has all of the D&D spells. Aid is... Spell acts like a bless, plus it confers 1 to 8 extra hit points to the recipient. Okay, so it's extra bless. Gotcha. Yeah, Grimrock took a lot of inspiration from these style of games. Let's do... Oh, hi. What? Fuck. Hello. I have a cat here. Oh, buddy. One moment. Hi. That's very nice. What a good kitty you are. There we go. All right, let's... Right there. Just for a moment. Hello. That's very sweet of you. Perfect timing. Oh, okay. Very good. We got the boy. Okay, so we have memorized spells. We have prayed for spells. I guess that we have to rest if we want them, probably? Yeah. We need to rest to gain the spells. Okay. Okay, you're not in a great spot to be helpful. There we go. The slimy, smelly drain reveals nothing. I wonder if those drainage gates are some kind of puzzle in some way. There's definitely going to be quite a few of them here. Nope, right. Well, this is more action-oriented than I assumed. And not easy for me to right-click, actually, with my broken fingers. Oh, we gave... Ah, Ranger is now dual-wielding. I mean, that is a thing that we wanted to do. I don't know that we wanted to do it yet, but sure. Lots of daggers. That seems good. That's probably fine. Got the Grimrock problem of magic is cool, but it requires a lot of fiddling. Yep. Okay, I see you. You can't pop your head around the corner and... Wait. Okay, wait, what the... Oh, shit. Where did it go? Hold up, wait. There it is. That's not what I meant to do, but sure. Okay, so I actually just need to click on both of these real quick a lot of the time. I could give a dagger to Jeef here also. Because again, the front row can't actually... is the only ones that can actually do melee. Although that's grayed out, so I guess they can't use daggers to throw. That makes sense for clerics. Dang. Because those are definitely just being used as throwing daggers in the back row here. Yeah, got him. Okay, maybe didn't get him with that one. The actual... I didn't expect this to be in real time. I gotta admit. That's pretty rad. One thing we are missing, and you'll notice it right away, and I probably should have cracked open a way to deal with it, but I ain't got no map. Yeah, I'm not going around the corner until you come out. Fine. Were AD&D clerics allowed to use edged weapons? I don't think so. It's been a while. A mage scroll of armor and a cleric scroll of bless. Okay. Well, let's... Yeah, actually, let's keep the bless here. We're going to do mage scrolls. We should probably have them on not the mage. It's been a while since I've thought about, like, advanced Dungeons and Dragons. God, I love the rolls for how much you heal. One heal, 1 hit point. Next heal, all the hit points! Fine, I'll use both my spells, I guess. Oh! Is that good? I was waiting for it to break through the bottom. Okay, that does re-raise it. That's good. We've got this here. We've gone this way. That seems bad. Hold. I think we're okay. Woo! Alright, managed to run away. We're good, we're good. Dang. Yes, we would like to save. Heck yeah. Actually, while we're here... Tunes are on. Huh. Not getting a whole lot of tunes, though. It's 91, I get it, but interesting that it has it. Never punished. Other than I just don't really know where we are now. This way. Come on. Man, we're getting a lot of misses here. There we go. Just check the auto. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Probably should have done something like a hold spell, but boy, it is tricky to get to the spells in the middle of combat. Yeah, it wouldn't let me close it on them. I almost managed to do it. I can wander with one of the spell books open, but then I can't see the direction I'm going, and considering that there's no map, that direction's kind of nice. Okay, I might actually just throw rocks. And it works. Very clerically. Let's heal the full. Ooh, it did open both sides. Oh. Oh ho ho. Huh. Need a weight? Can we put the rock? Haha! Okay. That's fun. I do like those. Nice little weighted puzzle. Rock ain't no edged weapon. That looked suspicious. Okay, so that brought me back. So we just did a loop, right? Sure seems like it. I'm gonna go this way before we open that. Oh, goddamn. Okay. Good job, Zoltan and Jeef. Backline Jeef. Killing goblins easier than our fighter and ranger up here at the front. What is... Okay, so we've got a dart, which is not an edged weapon. It's a pointed weapon. Totally different. Don't worry about it. Alright, well, time to go through the door. We didn't go the other way in that, like, weighted hallway puzzle either. I went too early on that one. Oh, never mind. I cannot use the dart. Cat, this is a bad time for you to do this. Okay, let's get your paw off of chat, since I am having some weird internet problems where I can't actually connect to Twitch on any of my, like... OBS is doing fine, everything else is like, no. For some reason. So I've got my phone out, and he decided to lay across my phone and stick his paw out. I see. rock on it again? It does. Okay. It really likes this put rock puzzle down. Also, can you... Are those rings? They must be rings. On the page with this symbol, find line 1 and enter word 2. Alright, let's get the page with that symbol. There's a lot of symbols, so give me a moment. There's a lot of pages. Alright, there's the pot lid. Find line 1 and word 2. It should be rank. If it'll let me. Seems good. There was still a lot to do on that upper floor. I don't know if I should go back. Did I dead end? Something's dripping. I don't love it. It looks like a travel marker. Oh. Did it say that I had the... I'm wondering if maybe... It was line 1, word 2. I'm wondering if it cared... See, like, here's always the thing. If we look at line 1, word 2 for that page, because of the pot lid, I'm wondering if we got trapped by the copy protection? I don't know. But I'll show you what I looked at. Because we have, there's the pot lid. And so I went front rank characters. Line 1, word 2. But did they want over here instead? Did they want view? I don't know. Maybe. I'm guessing not. I'm guessing that it would be on this side. So maybe there is a way out of this. It sure seems like an interesting trap, though. So a travel marker. Huh. Kind of looking. Drop an item, eat, examine character's equipment. Yeah. I'm looking at the guide to see if there's any, like, tips on the markers or something. It's a surprisingly thin guide for a D&D game. Most of it is spell descriptions and, like, classes. There's not a whole lot of actual, like, playing the game type information. Huh. So are we missing something? There's the 2 travel markers. Do we do like a mark there or something? No. We have a thief that could try to do something, but I don't know what. There's kind of nothing here for us to try. That dripping's killing me. I might... God, do I have to go back a save? Maybe I do. I'm wondering if this is the copy protection. Because I don't know how else we would get past this. Oh, and my internet is being real weird. It does not want to connect to anything on this. Huh. Fun. It seems like we got past it fine, so I wonder how we get through this puzzle. Huh. Okay. Notice and then forcefully open. I don't know how to get out of here. Huh. Oh, wait. You know what? I think I see the answer. That's funny. I'm looking at a guide now, just real quick. And I was having trouble of finding where it was. Can you ask a silly question? Of course. I think I actually know the answer here now, though. You can walk through it. Yeah, these are marks to show that they're illusions. Oh, I should probably fight. Oh wow, we are done and dusted like immediately. Alright, let's... Honestly feel like we should have stayed on this first floor for longer. These are not easy games. Oh, is the game slightly out of OBS frame? Is it? Oh shit, it is. Sorry about that. It's because I was using the showing the manual for a moment. This is when we barely survived that kobold assault. I always forget. It's been a while since I've played like a Wizardry 6. And you always forget that these games are not nice. Extremely nasty, to put it lightly. We'll do a lot more saves. But we also know where to go now. God, that was a stupid puzzle for me to not realize. Of course they just have illusionary walls. Yeah, these games absolutely hate you and expect you to save scum a lot. Good to see you, emus. Welcome, welcome. Okay, we didn't go this way last time. Let's check this side out. Okay. Picked up rations somewhere. There's a lot of daggers if we want to throw. It's too bad that we can't, like, keep the daggers going automatically into the character's hands for those throws. Yeah, save scumming's pretty much expected in these. Absolutely. As long as you remember that, you're pretty much fine. These also kind of become a little bit of, like, puzzle adventure games, which is why it's able to be played in Scum VM too, in a way, like why they bother with it, because these games end up, like, beyond these little puzzles like this, it does really feel like in some of these, I don't know if this one's the case, but you can just get into, like, soft locks real easy. Like, the game will be like, oh, you didn't grab the key on the first floor? You idiot, you loser, you moron. Why didn't you explore everything? Little did you know you needed the gold key on the first floor here on dungeon level 5. Yeah, okay. So that does the loop. And let's go to the left. Shit, surprise, it's goblins. Or kobolds, I guess. These are apparently kobolds. It's very Gygaxian in that manner, and Gygax was an asshole. Yeah, in more ways than one, yeah. got that all done. We went the other direction this time. There's still that door that we couldn't open. Okay, that's pretty amazing. We moved forward too fast and ran into our own dagger. Sick. Yes, exactly, Larian. That's... The rations was exactly what I was thinking of. You idiot, you fool. Why didn't you just... How did you not know that you only had 50 turns to beat the game? You played D&D with Gygax once, a surprise, and you can confirm. Yeah, he was, Say what you want about D&D. Its creator is not a very good person. Kinda renowned for being so. Rune is unrecognized. Alright, let's go back this way. Aha! Finally, a shield. We could try and force the grate. I wonder if we should have gone back to that early spot where we couldn't get through and there was the weird worm thing. Also, save. As far as you're aware, not like cancel level of terrible person, just awful at game design on purpose. No. Cancel level of person. Extremely cancel level of person. Yeah, he was kind of real bad. Yeah. Females shouldn't play wargaming kind of person for some of it. Lots of other things too. We don't need to get into it. Let's enjoy the game. He didn't make this game. This is made by Westwood, who, I don't know, maybe they're great people. I don't really know Westwood all that well. Oh boy. Kinda got lost here for a second. That's not the way. Yeah, okay. So we went this side. So maybe that is everything here. Well, there's all... Okay, let's go... We're gonna go to the right. We'll go back and then choose another direction. Except there's a bunch of directions here. Oh boy. So is this all a loop? Is this another loop that I'm just... It must be. Okay. Huh. I need to map this slowly to actually figure out how this is looping on itself. Yeah, Gygax, when you look into it, kind of seems like an all-around prick, unfortunately. True of a lot of things that people like. Line 1, word 1, on a page with that symbol. wealth? Ding! Gygax is a sick name. Okay. So where did that sling go? There it is. Because that's a thing I'd really like to have. Alright, can we use the rocks? Yes, we can. Okay. Thought that we might have to put it in the quiver kind of thing. It's nice that it just grabs it straight out of the... Well, that closed everything. Nope. Alright. An odd carving to place here. Oh. Wait. So that's another illusory wall? Yes. What the fuck? Okay. Huh. Zoltan is not putting down a single dagger. Are you crazy? But what if I run out of daggers? Okay. Something is... Is something turning us around there? I have gained a level of experience. Okay. Very cool. Now that I'm smart enough to, like, think about what a rune of passage would mean. Kind of neat how it's doing that. Boy, I really needed to, get out pen and paper for this thing, though, huh? Wait, what? How am I... How did we loop again? Okay, we're heading west. And now we're heading east. So it did just flip us. Okay, and we pressed that. When we went into that, that's also illusory. Oh my god. Okay. And that's the Orcrine path. Okay, so we're back here. Shit. Oh, man. Oh, man. So why can I not cast anyway? If I have the sling, I'm not allowed to cast. Really? Fine. Throw rocks, then. Okay, we're gonna save. I'm liking this a lot, though. It is mean. It's really mean. But I'm liking it. I'm guessing the sling is considered two-handed. It's the only thing that makes sense. Okay, so when we gain levels... Huh. It's interesting. Okay, party's complete. There's not... It's weird to me how little there is in terms of like character sheet kind of stuff and things like that. You can't really look at it again. All that just immediately goes into the background, which is both kind of nice because it's really easy to get into this, and also kind of weird because I keep on wanting to like... Oh, page inventory screen and stats screen. Maybe that? So if I go... Oh, there it is. Down to the bottom. Right, okay. Chris Perkins, who was a game designer at TSR and then Wizards of the Coast and DM for Acquisitions Incorporated, tells a story about how they had a product called Dragon Dice that wasn't going to be available for Gen Cons. They airshipped the first 10,000 units. Then no one changed the shipping method back to C/train for every follow-up order. They sold over 1 million units, and so instead of making $3.50 a pack, they lost 10 cents per pack. Amazing. That's no problem. I mean, hey, what's losing like $1,000? More immersive and more frustrating and opaque to understand. I wouldn't say that. I would say that it's like actually really easy to understand in that way because of it. If anything. Sorry, give me a moment. We've got people here. All right, we're back. Sorry about that. Whew, heck of a day. Instead of making over $3 million, they lost like 100,000. That's so good. 1,000, 100,000. Oh, for the first 10,000 units. Sorry, I read 10,000, missed a million. Yeah, 100,000? Yeah, no problem. I've known a lot of stories of like the TSR days of, and like, I think it was TSR. It might have been early Wizards of the Coast where they had like ski lodges. There's an infamous ski lodge story. So it just teleports me to that side. Okay. So does that mean I can like, can I walk through this wall? No. I go here, east, east, north, east, and we're back to here. So I need to get west. And it immediately flips me east. Okay, if I go through that, then I can do it. Gotcha. And then this is back to where we were, because I'm a dummy. Yep. Okay, but we did get out of it. There's an illusory wall that we had to walk through. And what is this? Not all is as it appears. Yeah, I'm getting that. Oh no. Oh, am I stuck in another one? Let me out. Let me out. Okay, we're good. We're good. Whew. Let's just save real quick before I go near this hole. Interesting. Huh. There's gotta be a way to deal with that. Now I'm kind of curious. If I step forward... Okay. Yeah, we're down a level. Gotcha. Fair enough. Don't love that. Watch your step. Yeah, I figured that out. Huh. We don't have another key. Ooh, alright, there we go. Always gotta have a thief. Only the strong shall pass. The door appears stuck. Okay, so it does talk about forcing open grates if you're strong enough. So I guess you just get stuck otherwise. Here's a question. Yep. Donk them right through the gate. That's pretty good. Anyway, so there was an infamous... I forgot that I was in the middle of that story about... There was an infamous, like, ski cabin. Oh, okay. They're teaching you throw through the gates. Gotcha. Where they had, like... Just kind of well known that they would have, like, retreats for all the employees, and it would just be party city in a way that is really not good. Like, just absolutely debauched weekends. Force the door and fail. Okay. Not strong enough, or... It's not like a lock to pick. Oh, never mind. Shit. Dang, those zombies are currently pretty rough for our party. And I think it might not be a bad time to rest up. Okay, so I think that what it was is we just needed to try a few times because, of course, it's all on rolls, huh? Potion of giant strength. Okay, that's nice. Seemed very useful. Okay, yep, just spam it until it works. Amazing. Love old game design. It's good stuff. Now we have an axe. Sure. Potion taken. Ooh, an unidentified potion? That's fun. There, now we have our dual-wielding ranger. Alright, well, watch our step. As far as I know, there is not a jump. Look in the keyboard shortcut command, and I don't think there's anything like that. Because they had a data card that came with everything. Ooh. Oh. Wait, I actually have an idea. Okay, first of all, this sucked. Yeah. So it doesn't look... This looks like it's just the trap. And there's nothing else down here. So I think that I have an idea as to how to get past it. Watch your step. Is there something on the wall? Like, should we throw again? Yup. Of course there was. It's been teaching us that. Should have realized. Okay, nope. Oh, God. Stop calling me, whoever that is. Interesting. That room sparked memories. Can imagine being a child and being really annoyed by this. Okay, yeah, so now I have to go on this side. Interesting. See, and now who's the idiot for carrying around all of these extra daggers, as we've already lost one? Couldn't be me. Just hovering forever over that hole. And we have level 4 Jeef. But yeah, Chad was saying that it was more inscrutable not having that obvious, but I think that that's not the case. I think that, if anything, it's less, it's more scrutable, as it were. You can scrut the hell out of this thing. That's probably why I imagine it had a lot of mass appeal. They did a smart thing, and it seems like a lot of the D&D functions are in the background, if that makes sense. Like, I'm not picking a whole bunch of abilities for this character. It just happens. Like, fuck it. Okay, so we got a key. But I don't know. We don't really have anywhere else to go. Huh. There, yeah. Hit that. Which means we can go back this way. Oh, fuck. What? Huh. I don't know how I hit something there, but that's fine. And we needed to get back here anyway. I just would have preferred not to have fallen to do it. Because I opened all of these. This is like the spinner way. Fuck. Sure is, because now I'm stuck in spinner hell. Yeah. Not all is as it appears. This one was to watch your step. Okay. And this is only the strong shall pass. So I managed to get all of these done. Huh. We got all this. Okay. Imagine being a child and losing to spinner puzzles. The puzzles that I remember losing to as a child was specifically the one that always got me, that I spent years thinking about, was Dare to Dream. Stone Dagger. Huh. Which, oh my god. Sorry, one moment. I keep on getting this call. Okay. Sorry about that. Literally 10 seconds. It's literally a marketer who's calling me over and over, so I hung up on them. Maybe now they'll get the gist that, hey, I don't actually want you to call me back. Good lord. What a stream today has been. Heck of a time. Hi, I'm calling from this marketing agency to sell you a phone plan. Go away. It's like they did not figure out the first time when I hung up on them that I didn't want their stuff. So I had to actually talk to them and tell them, go away. Stop calling me. I don't want this. There we go. Alright, we have figured out a new spot to be. It's got that dagger symbol again. So I'm guessing... Yep. Potion of extra healing. Woo, fancy. I don't love stepping on this first. Then nothing happened. That's... concerning. So, the stone dagger... There was a carving on a wall that had a dagger in it. but that also didn't have like a door right away. So I'm wondering if maybe that's what it's trying to do. My telemarketers actually stop calling if you tell them to. I don't know. Maybe. I'm assuming they won't call me again in the next 30 seconds was more the hope. Because they called me, I didn't answer because I saw that it was a marketer. And then they just immediately called me again. So I picked it up and went, go away. I'm sure they'll keep calling me later. That seems intriguing. Rats. Shit. Huh. Okay. There's a key. This is definitely a pull out your pen and paper. Time to do some notes and some mapping kind of game, which I figured would happen. There is an auto mapper available. However, that wouldn't be the original experience, would it? There is a version that does actually have a mapper on it. All right. Did that single dagger get them? Holy shit, look at the muscles on Zoltan. The room seems to move. Okay. Oh, God. This is going to be fiendish as hell, huh? Oof. This doesn't seem like the kind of game that actually needs you to take extra axes and things. Like, from the looks of all of this, it's interesting how much it feels like this is really very fiendish, but also like really tuned down. It's very simplified. It's not going to have like a bunch of different plus weapons and things like that. Yeah, put it in hand. Okay. Oh, Bless does the whole party? Oh, shoot. I remembered that. Come on. There we go. Whew. Like, this game feels like it's going to be mostly about the puzzles rather than the combat, in a way. Like, don't get me wrong, the combat still is certainly there. But it's not like... It's not as much the main thrust as you might think. You're not really doing, like, a build for your characters. You get some upgrades. It'll make you stronger, but it's not... Like I said, like, you're not going to get +1 axes too much. Or, like, you're not going to grab a whole bunch of loot to sell to people later on, it would be my guess, from the way that this is panning out. It's not like I needed a skill to dual wield. It just is a thing that happens. Equip to either hand. Sure, whatever. Use the hit, though. There we go. Scroll of invisibility. Interesting. That makes me think that there's a reason that we need that. I'm curious. What are the hit points at now? Does not show. Interesting. Can I see? Nope. Huh. Am I stupid? I might be stupid. But I think that it doesn't show our hit points. It just shows our starting one. It does tell you how many hit points you gain each level, but it's like on a roll, and it doesn't show it here. Huh. Like I said, a lot of this really makes me think that the combat has been very trimmed down. It's not necessarily a bad thing. It's trying to focus on, like, doing the puzzles and stuff, and it doesn't necessarily care about all the rest of it. Aha! Everyone gets helmets. See, like, if there's helmet, it's not like a type of helmet, or helmet +1, or like leather cap. It's helmet. What is this terrible character tree? Where's the Thaco listed? Yeah, it doesn't even have Thaco. Exactly. Good to see you, Samurai. Never mind Thaco, it doesn't even have our hit points. Man, they just come out swinging. That's not great. Nope. Thank you. Have to imagine that a cleric can't use a bow. Oh, maybe... yeah, no. It's almost like I shouldn't have had the cleric in the back row. And I should have put the ranger there. We could move them. I wanted to do a dual-handed ranger, but more and more it's like, you know, maybe... It's not the kind of game for that. I was hoping we could do a cool build thing, but it's not really, like, again, it's not that kind of game. That's not the easiest thing to do. Well, bow acquired seems pretty good. These just seem like plain old monster closets. Except for this one, which is this the trick area that we had earlier? With the ladder? It sure looks like it. Sure does. Yep. Okay. So we took that teleporter. Let's not this time. See what's further down. Oh yeah, okay, so wait. We saw the entry level thing. And that turns. Man, this is such a big dungeon floor. Yeah, like, even just little things like turn undead happening automatically. It really... I'm surprised that it was all this trimmed down combat kind of thing. This is such a mean area. Oh my god. I think I like this. I think that it's smart that they trimmed down and focused on just the one thing. I was kind of expecting this to be a bit of a nightmare to navigate and figure out. And it is in terms of, oh boy, the mapping and figuring all that out. But at the same time, it's not an absolute nightmare to figure out all the systems of and, like, control it and stuff. It's really easy to use, actually, as you can see from me just, like, running around this dungeon now. A lot of these early RPGs like this, especially when they get into the D&D license, from my experience, or like if they're trying to copy the D&D license too, they got very complex on a lot of levels, and that could make them really fun, but also could make them really daunting to try and actually play. And this is very simple to play. Very mean to actually maybe figure out, like, where to go, what puzzles to solve, how to solve them, that kind of thing. But the actual act of just, like, getting from point A to point B, knowing how to do a little bit of combat here and there, pretty straightforward, which is nice. The thing is that it's a really delicate balance, because I am someone who likes really complicated games. Case of cut! But at the same time, a lot of games would just not do it right. And this has a good feel to it. It's mean, and there's some trickery with everything, but also... it just feels focused in a way that I find very appealing right now. Okay, can I not... is it only the one on the right that I can hit? Amazing. I think that's the case. Ooh, and unconscious. That's not great. It's a little scary that there's only one save slot, because, boy, if anything happens, and you get into the wrong spot, and you wish you could go back, not an option. But yeah, the, like, simplification of the systems is one of those things that requires a really deft touch. And I can't tell you when it's good or when it's bad, like, or necessarily what makes it good or what makes it bad all the time. For example, like, a game that I have right next to me, Deus Ex and Deus Ex 2. Deus Ex, really systems heavy. Fantastic game. Absolutely incredible. One of the best games. It's truly a revelation in a lot of ways. Deus Ex 2 simplifies a lot of those systems, which is, you know, often pretty good. Not great for that game, really. Kind of shit. Not as bad as what people said. And, like, Deus Ex 1 suffers from a lot of systems in some ways. Like, there are problems. When you're doing things like trying to use a sniper rifle, but your zoom in and out is the brackets, but your walk is WASD, and your mouse is your aim, it just gets, like, what a nightmare for controls. But if you can manage all that, boy, does the game reward you. And it'd be neat to simplify it. Like, there was probably simplification that they could have done. Ow. Huh. Okay, here, let's give you another dagger. A lot of skeletons going down this maze. Yeah, it's a hard thing to manage, and I feel like they did a really good job here. See, like, and Deus Ex 2 simplified things and kind of sucks. Mass Effect 2 simplified things, and Mass Effect 2 slaps. So it's a really tough thing to manage. And I think they did a good job here. Okay, where the hell did that... Where'd he go? Hey, get back here. You wonder if it's worth revisiting DX2 at some point? Do you mean Deus Ex2? Because I have done that quite recently. We did that last year on stream? It's in the last couple years for sure. It is not nearly as bad as what people said. Is kind of the thing. Ooh. Jerk. Like, it's a really interesting game. It's still not, I wouldn't call it bad. It's just a very straightforward game in comparison to the first one. Like, oh, right. There was a key lock here. Okay. I no longer have a key. I think it was the PS2 release of the original Deus Ex kind of has a prototype for the simplified UI that made it into 2. Yes, yeah. I think both of them had that, actually, if I remember correctly. Like, the Xbox and PS2 versions had that. Because my friend had the Xbox version way back then. I think so. Yeah, it was a step down from Deus Ex 1, and Deus Ex 1 had some hardcore fans, so of course people just ravaged it. But it was, like, exceptionally unfair. People talk about it being, like, one of the worst games of all time kind of thing, and it's just, like, unbelievably bullshit. That's just so not true. Okay. Huh. Can't use it there. Okay, not that either. And I mean, I know fans reacting poorly, overreacting. It's absurd. That would never happen. Gamers are always very reasonable. Oh, what the? But it's just, it was extra egregious with that one. Actually, back at the beginning. That entryway that changes. But I will say, like, as much as the people criticize it and it doesn't deserve as much hate as it got, like you wondering if it's worth going back to, I will say, despite me saying that it is getting a bad rap, and it doesn't deserve the hate that it got, it's still fine. It's not worth revisiting. It's not that good of a game. You will have a lot more fun with Deus Ex 1. It's a lot more interesting. The story's... like, part of it is also the story is so much better. The story of 2 falls off a cliff in certain ways. Deus Ex 2 wasn't a terrible game, but it was a bad Deus Ex game. I'd say that it's just like a very medium game overall. Like, I don't hate the game, but it's just forgettable in a way, which, when you think of Deus Ex 1, whether you love Deus Ex 1 or you don't like it or whatever, it's certainly a memorable experience, right? Like, it is a wild ride start to finish. Forgettable is in some ways worse than bad. Yeah, definitely. Because like I said, I mean, I don't think that it's worth revisiting at all. Which is kind of tragic, because Deus Ex 1, absolutely worth revisiting. And when I revisited it, just before I did Deus Ex 2, I would say that... Huh. Where did that fucking... I'm trying to chase down the zombie. That was a bad move. You know, I'm lost again a little bit. But Deus Ex 1 was, once you rebind the controls and figure that out, if you can figure out a control scheme that actually works for you in a modern context, because that part is nightmare. The rest of that game is really surprisingly modern. It works fantastic. There's amazing stuff to be had in there. And it is well worth your time to play. That's not what I meant to do. That's not what I meant to do at all. That is a lot of skeletons. Shit. Okay. We somehow made that through. I got the feeling that it opened this door. It sure did. love to see that. We had a real problem where our fighter thief here started out at pretty low HP. And we've been noticing the problem from that. This definitely feels like a game where you would want to just input your own stats and just screw being balanced. Because it really does feel like it's more about puzzling out the actual, like, room solutions. Anything in here? Don't see anything on any of the walls. Okay, so why did we do all this? I mean, there was the button, so maybe that button did something. Let's go this way. There is something really funny about, like, the dagger or rock or whatever just, like, thunking against the floor. Just an alcove. The big thing that we need to find is a key for that one door. Because it seems like our lock-picking attempts weren't doing so hot there. Quick before that skeleton comes back. Before attacking against the zombies and they didn't notice me. I mean, they're zombies. Ow. 8 feels like a lot. But I also don't really know if it is. I mean, I guess that we're probably around 20 HP or something. It is super weird that you can't see that. Can I teleport you back? Yeah, and that's where you need the key. So where the hell is this key? And this goes back to the door? Yes. Okay. So first room, you can only go to the right, Everything else is bullshit. Gotcha. Then we're in here. And there's a few ways to go. Or a lot of ways to go. Do this. This is the weighted room. Okay. God, that is never gonna not be funny to me. Yeah, this is neat. For 91, the biggest things with this game is it looks really good. I wasn't expecting it to be real time and to be way more of the like puzzle rather than actual D&D style combat. I mean, don't get me wrong, obviously combat is still certainly a part of this thing. It just doesn't seem like it's a lot less of the focus than I might expect on some of these. This goes back. Or not. I have to imagine this opens up a lot more later, too. It is unfortunate that this thing has, as much as it says that there's tunes, there really isn't. Or not much, anyway. Good to see you, Cosmic. Welcome, welcome. Back here. God damn it. No. No. It's hard to tell sometimes if you've actually killed an enemy, which is a bit awkward. Not being able to see our actual HP is really strange. This is going to be so much more of a... You only have a certain amount of time to do this game. You didn't realize how much Grimrock spoiled people by auto-looting the ammo? Yeah, that's the thing in, like, the Summoning, too, is another one that was pretty cool for SSI. And it's kind of, like that top-down 2.5 perspective. An early version of that. We had a lot of fun with that game. But having to, like, go and pick up all of your ammo and then re-equip it and do all that is... both a classic bit of the gameplay of these games and also certainly obnoxious in some ways. Like, you get used to the loop, but it's not great to have to just constantly do it. think this is where I wanted to go. I haven't been, I think. Yeah, now I'm getting turned around. Heck of a maze here. Don't see anything on the walls. So that's just a dead end. This sneaky spot, though. Leads us back to this. Okay, let's turn the room. Yeah, and that's where we got to the carving and all of that. All right, let's go back here. If we turn the room again, let's go back to before. That didn't seem like it changed it at all. Yeah, huh. Interesting. Why didn't it turn the room this time? Does it only turn it the two directions? And this goes back to where the strength puzzle is, doesn't it? No, I got turned around. Okay, I haven't really explored this way from there. Okay, wait a minute. We did do this. This gets so nasty. It's definitely, I should have pulled out a pen and paper. Specifically graph paper. This one is a hell of a maze. I like this game immediately started with like dungeon spinners. Yeah, not picking up your ammo, though, feels like an SSI special. As much as this isn't dev'd by SSI, it's dev'd by Westwood. You'd think that after thunking these arrows off of walls for like 12, 13 times, it may not actually work that well anymore. The lack of music is just really kind of grating in a way. It's very standard for the time. Like, this is a very early game when you think about it. But, boy, it would go a long ways to just have some kind of background noise. More than just, like, drip, drip, drip. Kind of, you know, very, very basic. Thunking your arrows against walls, that kind of stuff. I'm actually kind of curious. We turn tunes off. What even happens? You know, it would just be like a looping 8-bit score with... Yeah. It's true. But, like, having the option to have a looping 8-bit score with 20 notes feels like it's an improvement on just nothing. It's not like there weren't other games in 1991 that didn't have the score. Okay, I don't want to let it off the hook entirely because, yeah, I wouldn't say that it was standard back in these days. Especially, like, I imagine that this game was pretty large when you think about, like, how nice the pixel art is. Like, this dungeon art and stuff is fantastic for the time. The animations at the beginning were really good. And at the same time, like, there's other games that definitely had, like, full music by this point. I mean, just look, Seventh Guest was 2 years after this, which does make a fair difference. Like, back in these days, a couple of years of, for the dev time made a world of difference in the technology available. But you could have done more. Certainly. You turn it off after the first level anyway. Maybe. I'm just trying to think, like, okay. Well, like, okay, here's a good example. I'm pretty sure... When did that come out? Okay, never mind. It was also 93. Maybe I'm wrong. I was thinking of, like, Betrayal at Krondor, which has a lot of music and stuff like that in it. But those couple years, like we said, they can make a big difference. What DOS games came out in 91? Like, yeah, Civ, which also did not have any music. But something like Castles did. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, it is really early. I have to give it a little bit of slack, but still. Makes going through these samey dungeons just a little rough. That being said, like, the mouse support, that was definitely not standard, and oh my god. Okay, so let's turn the tunes back on. Huh. I was wondering if it would have changed, like, some of the dripping, quote unquote, in the background, like that thunk, thunk. Like, or that doom doom that we get, but it doesn't seem to have changed that. So there must be music somewhere. Little stings. We just haven't run into it. all these zombies still coming from? Damn it. Oh, I'm really getting myself turned around. Here we go. Turn Undead is both annoying and also almost necessary. When we got swarmed by those 4 skeletons, we'd have absolutely died if we didn't turn Undead. It happens automatically. It's definitely annoying sometimes, no question. And it's weird that it's automatic like that. But the automated stuff, like we said, it's really part of this game, just trimming things down. Okay, place an item on the pleasure plate. That's the correction facility. Press the left button. If you look at the south wall, you can see which sublevel are on. Okay, wait a minute. I'm looking at, like, because we didn't map everything out, I decided to take a quick glance at a guide and see what they say. Let's find that rotating room again. I think we're getting close to where I can give at least an opinion on this. There we go. Entry level. Okay. Entry level. The room seems to move. Correction facility. Okay. Death section. That sounds fun. Pretty sure DOS Gaming in 91 was like 90% Keen, Duke Nukem, and PGA Tour Golf. That was a lot of it, yeah. I don't know about the actual, like, not being able to hit the monsters if they're on the right side of the square in front of us. I have had the same thought a few times, and it is unclear, I would say. Okay, well, that's not exactly what I meant to do, but sure. Get out of the way. Nope, get... I guess they'll just take the free kills. Is there anything on that wall? No. Okay, it's just a force the door. Feels like you could soft lock yourself by not being strong enough quite easily. would certainly be in keeping. Yeah, I don't know. Okay, stop hitting my poor cleric. Jesus Christ. Oof. Do not need them to die. Descent would have come out later than 91. I don't know when, but later than 91. Oh, wait. Right. Scroll of Bless. I don't think I can use the potion on them. Interesting. We have a problem here. Huh. Because I don't have a scroll that works. To heal up Jeef here. And I can't force a potion. Because it'll just use it on the character that they have. This is a problem. Well, we got the key. Okay, back to entry level. Wait. I think I'm gonna go this way to get to the... Where's the locked door again? Might be in the wrong section. No, there it is. Okay. Well, this could be bad, because I do not have a... Our cleric on the front line. Kinda wrecked. Can swap. So you can protect them in the back a little bit. Going down. Do I know what RATS is an acronym for? No, just that it's familiar. a circle a little bit. You feel dizzy. Yeah. West, now we're going east. Is that good? Doesn't seem good. Another key. So we kind of can't really heal even with our cleric down right now. Because of course rest and heal means that you have to have the healing spells. A minor problem. It's really gooping it up in game right now. That's gonna just throw me back out. Yeah, because it's went west again. They really like their spinners. Stop doing that to me. Now that we see what's going on, now that I'm paying attention, hopefully we can make a little bit of progress here. That's the way up. Oh boy. Lot of teleportation. Nope. Hello. That's not good. Oh, we're in trouble. Yeah, see, like, literally nobody can actually heal. How do we solve that? I think that we might have just screwed up making our party at the very beginning, which is a problem of a lot of these games, in that okay, so we got this potion. What does this potion do? I'm just kind of curious now. Now we're just testing some things. Ah, food potion. But that you can, like, screw up on party creation. Yeah, see, like, I can't force somebody else to have it. If there's not healing on two characters, you're just fucked when one of them goes, when the cleric goes down. That's just the end. You can no longer heal. Like, oops, you didn't take a character that was strong enough, and now you can't open this door. So, guess you better go back to the beginning and start a new character. Which, it's trying to make you do a balanced group. And, like, you know, they're trying to do their puzzles and such, which, you know, I get. But, man, they need to give you indications of that sometimes. Like, it'd be nice if they told you that at any point in these games. That is game design at the time, but it's not very polite. To put it lightly. It's okay. Zoltan's got some meat shields. Uh-oh. Zoltan does not have any meat shields. Let's see the death screen. All of your party is defeated. The minions of evil will be able to carry out their plans unhindered. And the game just goes directly back to DOS. Amazing. Canonically, our mage was dragging around three dead bodies, basically, and then using them to cover themselves to not take hits. Correct. That is, in fact, the way that worked. Well, with that being said, I think it's time for us to pull up a rating. Number 1. I am not going to say it's a number 1. In fact, go down. Just kind of curious. Yeah. Kind of curious around where I had Dungeon Master. It's very Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master came out a couple of years before this, and it's rad as hell. If you haven't seen Dungeon Master is pretty cool. I think this has some improvements on Dungeon Master, but it is extremely in that template. Got some really neat art. It's very unforgiving in the way that these classic games can be, which I think is a bit of a downside. Like, there's a reason why games don't just make it so that you can make a party that soft locks itself out of the game nowadays, right? Like, realistically, making it so that you can't ever heal again. Like, what if you don't know D&D that well? And you're like, oh yeah, okay, well, like, I'll do a cleric and a rain. I mean, I did it, and I know D&D, and I wasn't thinking. It's easy to be like, oh, you know, like a ranger, and you got, like, a ranged character, you've got a mage, you got a cleric, and a fighter, and a thief. Like, that seems like more than enough. Nope. Nope, you fucked up. You didn't do enough. Like, that just kind of hurts. Later on, you can find new characters, so maybe we've been able to find other people who could heal us eventually, but at the point that we were at, we were probably just, like, restart the entire game. Not having secondary saves also is pretty rough for that part of things. The sound design is extremely medium. But then the art and animation itself is fantastic. And I do like they trimmed down a lot of things to make it not overly complex. So you can kind of jump in and go. Which is nice considering how mean it is in every other way. Putting on some DOS music here, I think. God, Jazz Jackrabbit, like, speaking of music, Jazz Jackrabbit really got carried by that. I honestly don't think it's quite as good as Dungeon Master. Dungeon Master was really, really cool. It feels almost exactly the same as this in a lot of ways, while being like 3 years earlier. Because I think it was 88. I think. I'd have to look it up, but it's 88 or 87. I'd rather play Pirates. I think that this is about as far down as it goes, though. It does have a lot going for it. I'd love to finish up more of it and see, like, some actual characters and things in here. That being said, it seems like a lot of that's going to be just very stripped out. Like, it's just... What we've done is going to be a lot of what the whole game is, right? It's solving those kinds of, like, teleportation mazes and dizzy tiles and all that kind of stuff. Lots of mapping. You know, I think I might rather play Raptor. Raptor's really cool. So yeah, definitely not a new #1, but a cool game nonetheless. See, like, games that I want to go back to, you're talking about, like, later D&D games. Not a D&D game, but Realms of Arcania, Blade of Destiny, was awesome. And Strahd's Possession. Strahd's Possession, if you're looking at... You want to look at, like, old D&D dungeon crawlers that are real early? Strahd's Possession was rad. Oof. That one had a lot more of a story and stuff to it. I think this is fair as a nice... Number 64. Great game. Not as... I was expecting a lot more of, like, D&D combat kind of stuff in a way. I was expecting a little more Strahd's Possession out of it, I guess. Still interesting, definitely. And, like, with how story of a name it had, I was just kind of surprised that it didn't do more. It does everything that it does well, for the most part. Like, there's nothing that's, like, bad about it, for sure. But when you think about, like, the paper dolls, you're like, oh, like, maybe it's one of the early versions of paper dolls. But, like, Dungeon Master was actually the one that did the very first paper doll interface ever. It's just like a refinement of a lot of things, and that's cool, but it didn't break any new ground from what I saw. Like, placing it on the list and thinking about everything else that's kind of going around at the time. It's not like Betrayal at Krondor, where it's like a whole storybook. It's not, it doesn't have the story of Strahd, it's not like the paper doll the other one has, stuff like that. Just got here is, yeah, Mango TCG. Jazz Jackrabbit is, in fact, on the list. If you want to see the full list, I would say type !DOS normally, but we've had some weird tech problems on the thing today. But if you go to DOS-cider.neocities.org, you will see the full list. And I also put up all of the VODs on the YouTube. I tend to edit out all the breaks and stuff, too, if I have any breaks. You'll see the episode number is right here. But Jazz Jackrabbit got ranked quite recently. And you'll be surprised to learn that it ranked fairly high, despite the fact that I am going to straight up say, yeah, there we go, number 81. I will proudly say that I am a Sonic hater. I did not realize that Jazz Jackrabbit was Sonic. I didn't realize that it was a Sonic clone. I'd always seen it, but I never actually got around to playing it. There was lots of other ones that I played from, like, Apogee and Epic Games, but never got into Jazz. But yeah, proudly #1 Sonic hater. No Sonic game was ever good, and Jazz Jackrabbit falls into kind of the same category. Despite that, I do have to give it props for, like, man, the music is incredible in that game. And it's got really good art and stuff. Like, it's obviously competent, it's just not my thing. But that's what's important. This is a list for my own heart. With that, though, I have a second stream to get to today, and I need to go for a break and make food for my lovely wife and stuff in the meantime. You never knew that either. You were so pumped to be playing computer games. Yeah. If you didn't have a Sega at the time, like, at the time, I would have only been playing over at a friend's house, because they had the Genesis and I had the Super Nintendo. That was always the trick, right? One of you bought the one system, the other one buys the other, and then whoever has PC, you know, you go over there too. I was lucky enough to mostly be PC, a little bit of SNES. Sadly, All Dogs Go to Heaven is still a top 300 DOS game. I had to see how close it was, because I thought, you know, feel a little bad for putting Eye of the Beholder down this far, considering the legendary name that it has. But, does not get to kill All Dogs Go to Heaven off the list. In any case, thank you all for being here. I will be back again with more DOS-cider next Monday, but also with some blueprints later tonight. You can find the full VOD list, like I said, over on YouTube. If you're a sub or a patron, or you'd like to be one, in the Discord there is a sub club that's just for you. The Discord's free for everybody, but there is a spot for you where you can request a game a month for me to rank on here. This one was from Ghidorah, and it's a very interesting one. I was really happy to check out Eye of the Beholder finally, because like I said, it was one that I missed back in the day. And you can see the full schedule is up in there too. I will be back in a couple of hours, I'd say. You think you might have put it below Solar Winds yourself, but you love that game. I love Solar Winds. I love Solar Winds. The one thing with Solar Winds, I can totally see that. The one thing with Solar Winds is that if you play the whole thing now, you realize that its big open world that you're exploring is actually a lie. It is actually a linear game that tricks you into thinking that it's very open world, and there's really nothing to do besides, like, the couple little things here and there. If you, like, go off of the path and just start exploring the universe, it's empty. Totally empty. There's nothing. That was the disappointing for me with Solar Winds, is realizing that actually you have to follow all of the steps. Because Solar Winds is like a space combat RPG kind of thing, and it's really cool. But it is linear in a way that it tricks you into thinking that it's not. And so, like, the big open world kind of nature that was really stunning about Solar Winds is kind of a lie. And that is why I had to put it down a little bit. But I agree with you. Solar Winds is an incredible game. Absolutely fantastic. And unsurprising, because it is from, oh god, what is his name? Jason Schmaltz? Is that what it is? Who is at Digital Extremes now. Oh yeah, you're pretty ambivalent on that. You think a lot of big open worlds are just flat and uninteresting. I mean, yeah, it kind of depends. It was a very, very small project from, like, just him kind of thing, so it very much makes sense. You have to play Solar Winds to understand why I'm complaining about that. It feels like you can branch out in different ways, is kind of what I mean. I agree with you in some ways about big open worlds, but basically what we're going to have to do is at some point there is a big looming thing over top of this list. There's a lot of games that we haven't got to that are absolutely incredible, that need to be talked about, that are going to be near the top of this list, if not in the top 10 easily, and maybe even top 1. And you can probably think of a few off the top of your head if you really look at this list, even though we've ranked so many. One of those that relates to the Solar Winds problem is Star Control 2. Because Solar Winds has this, like, idea where you're like, wow, this is going to be like Star Control 2. And it's not. It seems like it is. And it does a good job of, like, pretending that you're in a bigger world than it is. But it's closed off in a way that is that's surprising when you actually start poking around it more. Like, I don't want it to be open world like, oh god, what's the... Daggerfall. Like Daggerfall. Daggerfall is big and open and flat. It's all proc gen, and it just kind of becomes very stock standard, and you notice what all of the generated stuff is at a certain point, things like that. But you want to have, like, some branches to, like... It's an RPG where you're talking to characters and they give you choices, and it gives you a sense, like, that it's this big world that you can explore some certain things on it. But Solar Winds doesn't get there. Like, it hints that it's that, but it's not. We'll obviously just create an entirely new category for Star Control 2. It's top of the list of all time. I won't say that. We haven't ranked it. We gotta check it out. At some point, we will get to Urquan Masters. It's a daunting task, because Star Control 2 is... It's a hard game to rank. It's a hard game to rank. But I'm gonna leave it there. I gotta get going. I gotta make some supper and do some blueprints for tonight. And we will rank more games next week. Don't you worry. So thank you for being here. And I will see you all shortly, I'm sure. Don't go away, because we're going to host you over to somebody else. And if you want to check out any of the VODs, you see a game that you are curious as to why I ranked it there, hey, you can check out the YouTube.